भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। मुंडकोपनिषद सेकंड मुंडका सेक्शन 1 मंत्र 1 the karya, the effect, the product of aparavidya was described in detail, and it was shown that even that which you consider the best thing that can be attained through aparavidya is truly worth nothing, called as asara. There is no sara. There is no something worthy to be accomplished at all. They give the example of the stem of a banana plant. The stem of banana plant appears to be thick, long, but if you go on peeling it, there is nothing left out which is really worthy that can be gained. So is samsara. Now, paravidya is being described. What is the subject matter of paravidya? And that subject matter of paravidya which needs to be known is, truly speaking, the sara, the thing that is worthy to be accomplished in the world, in and through the asara samsara. Because that's entity which is the subject matter of paravidya is, truly speaking, is the basis, warp and woof, as it were, of this so-called samsara. All that you need to do is discard the samsara. Then what remains is that which is basis. It is nothing but limitless Ananda-swarupa, self-existing, self-knowing principle, self-experiencing principle. You need not do anything to know it. You need not do anything to own it. You remain what you are, but on it, whatever that has got superimposed, mistakenly attributed in terms of this variegated samsara, needs to be eliminated, discarded by thorough inquiry in finding what that basis is in reality, and by the removal of all that obstructs you from knowing it, from experiencing it, in owning it. For that purpose, before taking to the means by which the obstruction that deny you your own Swarupa, limitless Paramahanda, limitless Ahanda, you should know what that entity is. Is it worthy to be accomplished? So this is the subject matter, the topic of Paravidya. It was hinted earlier. It is called Aksharam. Paravidya yayatat Aksharam adhigamyate. The Brahma Vidya is that one. Paravidya is that one by which that Akshara Brahma, indescribable Brahma, Akshara, is gained, owned, known as my Swarup. What is it? That needs to be described in detail, and therefore now the second Mundaka starts. Tadetat satyam yatha sudiptat pavakat visfulingaha sahasrashaha prabhavante sarupaha तथा अक्षराद विविधाः सौम्य भावाः प्रजायन्ते तत्र च एव अपीयन्ति. तत् एतत् सत्यम्. That which is now going to be unfolded, that which is going to be now described. Etat, this you can know as this, not objectively, but as the one that is which is most proximate. It is Satyam. Satyam means that which exists for ever without any change. It is an entity, actually speaking, answer to the question by Shaunaka, which I believe you remember. He approached the Guru, Angirasa. O Bhagavan, what is that entity, having known which all else becomes as good as known? You need not know them separately, individually. What is that entity? This is that entity. So what is it? Satyam. The word Satyam was also used in the section of Aparavidya as far as karma phala is concerned. Having done the karma, whether you like it or don't like it, the result of karma, the karma phala, is inevitable. You can't escape. It may take kalpas, aeons, yet that karma phala will catch the individual jiva one day or other, unless Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana is gained, whereby the owner of the karma phalas, the entity jiva in whose account the karma phalas were there, he himself gets disappeared in the wake of jnana. So then that karma phala, what happens? if it becomes of no consequence, it can't give rebirth. Like these medicines which have got, which is that is date has got expired. The expiry date in right now, there is the medicine date is expired. There is no more effective. So that was relatively called as Satyam. It's not truly Satyam which exists forever, but for a long time until one gets the bhoga, the enjoyment or suffering. But this is Satyam Trikala Badhita, never gets subject to destruction. Avitatha, never changes. It may appear to be different, yet even when it appears to be different than what it is in its own nature without any change whatsoever. For example, in a semi-darkness, a rope is mistaken by a person as a snake. What he sees there is snake only. Yet, in and through that snake, even at the time that person seeing a snake, rope is a rope intact. Satyam. Earlier it a rope. Now this person mistaken as a snake, it is rope. After it is, oh, it is a rope. It is a rope. That type of Satyam it is, never going to change. So what is that? That entity. What is that entity now? See, you are speaking as if what something that is, this is what is always ever existed well. As if you are perceiving it as this. No. Anybody has seen Brahman? Atma? Anybody? No, Swamiji, I have seen. The other day, I had been on the beach for walking. The corner, someone was sitting and doing something. I was curious to know it. Slowly, without his notice, I passed by nearby that. And do you know who is that? Brahman creating Jagat. You tell someone. Will they believe? Some gadbad ho gaya bolega. Nobody says. How are you? This is that Tadeta Satyam. How do you say this? You are talking something which only Shastras describe. Yes. Having been born in Bharat, whether you like it or not, Atma, Brahma, Paramatma, Bhagavan, etc., will bang on your ears. That's a culture. So you may have heard it. Means it is there certainly, very elaborately described where in the Shastras, Adhyatma Shastra, Upanishads, Puranas, Itihasas, Smriti Granthas. Yes, that's it. But you are talking as if this is it. No. Yes, it can be, see, found right now here. How this? By its effect, by the karya effect that is produced by that. For example, can anyone know this as electricity? No. But we can know. How come? Through its effect. That power, which when passes through a filament, gives light. That element which passes through diode, triodes, etc., gives form, gives sound, gives heat. gives cold, gives breeze, gives magnetic effect, whatnot. Cuts, levels, but the instruments are different in each case. And yet, the power operating through those different instruments is one and the same. Oh, you can know. But of course, it is indirectly, parokshata. We get some lingas. Lingas means the signs, some marks by which you can ascertain, oh, this is that principle. But thereby, you have ascertained only its existence. By that linga, by that mark. For example, yonder there is smoke. The sign mark. You infer there is fire. But there is fire is only an ascertainment of the existence of the fire, but you have not seen the fire. That's why in Naishkarmya Siddhi, Sureshwara Acharya says, Lingam Astitva Nishtam. A linga, a sign or mark is what? Is that which ascertains the existence of something. So, this Akshara Brahma is right now here, can be ascertained by this effect. What are they? Yatha Sudiptat Pavaka Vispulinga Sarupa Sahasrasha Prabhavanti Tatha. Here is an example. What is that? Sudiptat Pavaka. From the fire which is well ablaze, burning thoroughly. So, from such well lit fire, what happens? Visfulinga. Visfulinga means these sparks, fire particles. And what is their nature? Sarupa. Having the same rupa means not form here, nature. Having the same nature as that of fire. See, for example, the wood is burning. And what happens? The sparks emerge. Actually, what are those sparks? It is minute particles of the burning wood, but with fire. Fire is one and the same. In the burning wood and in the spark, fire is sarupa, not different fire. Of course, the fire in the spark may appear to be tiny because of the tiny size of that wood particle. But fire is fire. There's no distinction between that fire and this fire. So sarupa, that is agritulya, just like fire. Prabhavanti, emerge. How many? Sahasrasha. Sahasrada, anekasha, not that thousand, etc. Bahuvachaka is the word which signifies many. So emergence, they emerge. Yes, we know this phenomena. From the burning wood, burning fire, what? Many numbers of these sparks emerge. This we have seen or not, this phenomena like that. Tatha, in the same manner. Tatha, Aksharat, from this Akshara Brahma, what happens? Somya, so means, oh Sunny, oh dear, the Guru Angirasa addresses his disciple, oh dear disciple, Somya. Vividhaha bhavaha prajayanti. From that Akshara Brahma, what happens? Vividhaha, varieties of them, many types of them. What are those? Means in terms of varied bodies. Bhava. Bhava stands here for Jiva. From that, just as from a well-lit fire, many of sparks, similar as fire, having the same nature as fire, emerge. So also from this Akshara Brahma, the many bhava, many jivas having varied embodiments emerge. With a jiva, with no jiva. The individual entity having specific features of one's own. This individual jiva, the individual entity, person, other human as well. Otherwise, animal or whatever that is, bird or whatever. So it is the entity individuality having a unique physical body, having a unique subtle body or psyche with unique samskaras, tendencies, the impressions of past karma phalas, as it like a unique software, as it were. Every jiva, when born, comes with a specific software. This matters with the modern, that is what technology is, software. Because how it functions depends on the software that you use. So at the antakarana level, mind level, there is specific software of these vasanas, impressions of the past, which guides the present sojourn. So that being vividhaha. How many? According to Shastra, there are how many varieties? 84 lakhs of species. And each species has got innumerable individuals. All these bhavas, whether they are the deities in the heaven, humans, animals, birds, reptiles, all amoeba, etc., or these bugs, unseen, only seen in the microscope, everywhere, floating in the air. There is no count of it. Vividaha bhava. Sarupa. Having the same nature as the Akshara. There is no, where in the case of spark, the nature of fire, being fire. Here, what is that nature? As that of Brahman. It is Chit, Chaitanya. The sentience, the Sachetanata, the sentient principle, because of which the inner embodiment appears to be lively and interacting with the world. An inert entity cannot do that unless operated by someone or by remote control. Whether they directly operate or by remote control, there's a sentient being available somewhere. You send the rockets to the Mars and moons, but somewhere in the big laboratory, there are people operating it. You see a flying. The pilot may not be seen, there is a pilot there. Or it can be remote control also. So like this. Here. So that sentience, sentient principle, Chaitanya, pure awareness principle, pure conscious principle, is what? That makes it Sarupa. It is one and the same in all. Whether it is Indra, Devadipati, king of gods, or a beggar, or even a dog. Whatever one says I or feels I, dog may not be able to say I, but it feels I. That I is nothing but this principle. Even Bhagavan, Krishna, this is I, truly it resolves in this Chaitanya. Relatively, he may refer to his body as Vasudeva Sutta, or he may refer to it as Avatar. But finally, it is what? Parabrahma Sarupa. So, Jiva, whether exalted or ordinary or condemned, Sarupa, same nature as that of Akshara Brahma, the Chaitanya Tattva. So this way, what happens? One and the same Chaitanya, Akshara, appears to be manifold, having many forms, with many names, with many distinct features. It appears to be so. But these features belonging to their bodies, not to the Chaitanya. Chaitanya is one and the same. This Akshara Brahma is one and the same, though it may appear manifold, and that many is not one or two, infinite as it were, because of the upadhis, the embodiments being wielded by that specific entity, Jiva Bhava. It is like this. Space, total space, Mahakasha, Mahagadmi, the space pervading the entire Jagat, entire Srishti, creation. One and the same. There is no division in that. Yet, in that space, when many pots are made, mud pots, let us say, it appears as if there are many spaces. What spaces? Different of different size, of different form, depending on the size and the form of the pot. Mahakasha, Maha-akasha. The big space means the total space is one and the same. Yet the pot spaces, the space appearing in individual pots are innumerable. That doesn't mean the total space Mahakasha is born as individual spaces. No. It is simply so. It appears so. Not simply means it appears to be so in terms of many. In and through all this, one and the same space is there. The all upadhis, conditioning factors of different types of parts differ. As a result, it appears as if space differs. But in and through them, only one space is there. So also here, this, what is it? This akshara is a chaitanya, all-pervasive nature, pure awareness principle, pure conscience principle. Shuddha chaitanya. When Shuddha means it is free from upadhi's embodiment. But it appears to be born. Prajayanti. The jivas appear to be born in manifold ways, having varied names and forms. And tatracha eva apiyanti. They merge back in the same akshara Brahma. Just as when you break these all mud parts, it appears as though the pot space has merged in the total space. Truly speaking, neither it was born nor does it merge back. But vyavahara, for practical purpose, for a practical purpose, for a person who is ignorant of the fact that space is space all the time, it never born nor it get destroyed. And yet, because this parts being made, it appears as if born, as if it get destroyed. But you know, when you know this fact, you don't have this ignorance, you know what it is. Never born, never going to get destroyed. So, tatra evacha apiyanti. So that means just as space is one and the same, and yet this manyness in them is because of the pots made. So also Akshara Brahma, Chaitanya Swarupa is one and the same. And yet, in the realm of ignorance, because of the birth or appearance of many embodiments. It appears to be different, having a specific feature, having a specific name, having a specific form, having a specific software, as it were, called as individual jiva. Some are exalted, others so-so, still others condemned. All this doesn't belong to Akshara Brahma. It belongs to Upadhi, the embodiment. Just as space is one, but it is holy space. There's a dirty space. There's a filthy space. Because of what? Environment, conditionings. This is one. Space pollution. Space can never get polluted. But what is polluted is the conditioning, the surroundings, which is falsely attributed to the space. So also here, Ucha Nicha, exalted, and that which is useless. These features belonging to those Vividaha embodiments. Just a big 100-liter space, 10-liter space, 1-liter space. This is one, but that 100, 10, 1 liter belong to the Upadhi, pot. So is here. And when that Upadhi is removed, what remains is nothing but this Akshara only. So you may say, if that is the case, fine. So long as the person is alive, it may be different. Once he dies, body gone, the Jiva must be what? Brahma only, Akshara. No, no. There is only external vesture. External vesture. That vesture is operated by some inner entity. Those who have studied Atma Bodha, very interesting text. Those who have not studied, go to my YouTube and see the playlist. Atma Bodha is there. And you know, nowadays this YouTube are very, you just simply put my name. My link will come. You need not have the URL. Or put Sri Visheshwara Trust, it will come. Put my name, that's all. It will come. So, Atma Bodha. This body is called Bhogayatanam. Ayatana, a place of bhoga. Bhoga means experiences, good and bad, as per karmaphalas. But only a place. There is a sadhana, means by which you experience good or bad. That is called as bhoga sadhanam. In individual case, jiva, the physical body is bhoga ayatana, like a shopkeeper. Like a shop. But there is a shop. But the shop runs, provided shopkeeper is there to run it. The shopkeeper is like this. Bhoga sadhanam. That's what is called as sukshma sharira. Having jnanendriya, faculties. Karmendriyas, its faculties. Mana buddhi ahankara chitta antakarana, the psyche. This make you undergo those experiences. So when the body is dead, this entity is still intact. And it goes seeking next physical body befitting to its next package of software of karmapalas. What we call as prarabdha karma. Karmapalas which are now ready to yield the result in that specific embodiment. All Ishvara's laws. It is programmed. You have no choice there. Let me have that body. Indra's throne. Your karmaphala decides. You are helpless as if, what is that? Like a puppet. Laws apply. Kathopanishad says, yatha karma, yatha shrutam. What determines this? Your karmas means your karma phalas. Shrutam, your upasana phalas. Meditation is phala. That guides that. So therefore, mere end of the physical body, what you call a death, is not the freedom from this cycle of samsara. That Suksharira should get ended. It can get ended only when you have nothing to gain from this world, from heaven onward up to hell. When it is possible? When you have no desires. When can you be totally free from desires? Why do you have desires now? I want this. If I get that, I'll be happy. If I get rid of this, I'll be happy. Means you have got some interest in the Jagat. To have or not to have. You are booked. But when such desires end, when will it end? The moment you discover that you are nothing but limitless, self-evident entity which has no lack, which has no want, whereby your either to interest in the Jagat, the heaven or hell, you don't desire hell, but you get dragged to hell, is no more there. That is possible when you know directly aparokshataha your swarupa to be so. Means in the wake of Atma Jnana, your knowledge of your true nature, which is called Brahma Jnana, Akshara Jnana, you discover yourself what you seek, that ever existing happiness without even the least trace of sorrow. Your interest in the Jagat, Srishti, drops down. You remain what you are, Chaitanya Sarupa, Atma, Brahma. What happens? Bhoga sadhana, the means of undergoing experiences, good or bad, no more required. It just gets disintegrated like a drop of water put on with the frying pan, highly heated. Just you get evaporated. So also, this locus called Jiva entity in terms of what is called as Suksha Sharira, having pranas, faculties of sense organs, and faculties of organs of actions, and antakarana, mana, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, gets disintegrated. You remain what you are. Until that, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam. Cycle of birth and death is inescapable. You can't help. You have to go through it. So therefore, mere ending of the physical body is not a solution. You should know your Sarupa and get it out. So therefore, just as from a well-lit fire, many sparks similar to fire are born and merge back. So from this one and the same all-pervasive Akshara Brahma Chaitanya, many jivas appear as if born and merge back. Further, the nature of this Akshara Brahma is described in contrast or in relation to the actual thing which gives rise to the appearance of Jagat. Contrast is drawn between that entity or a principle which gives rise to the actual emergence of these jivas from that one Akshara Brahma. Because in Shastras, at places, that principle, otherwise called Prakriti or Maya, the creative power of Ishvara, is also called as Akshara relatively. This is called as what? Akshara relative. This should be known properly. Otherwise, it can be confusing because a student of Vedanta is generally familiar with the word Akshara as Akshara Brahman. Literally, what does Akshara mean? That which is indestructible. There is this Maya Shakti, Trigunatmika, having Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamaguna, also called Prakriti, inert in nature, which actually in the presence of this Akshara Brahma gives rise to Jagat, and that also is called a relatively Akshara. Not absolutely, not totally, relatively, because the Kshara, destructible Jagat creation, comes, goes often. Yet this Prakriti, Maya Shakti, continues to be there until the knowledge is gained. So therefore, relatively it is Akshara. It's pointed out here. This Akshara Brahma, which is the true nature of Jiva, is more exalted, or the entity transcending, that is, which is beyond the realm of this relative Akshara, otherwise called Prakriti or Maya, the Sarjana Shakti, the creative power of Ishvara, that power which in place of, not place, which in the presence of Chaitanya Purusha gives rise to the appearance of Jagat. So that relation has to be pointed out, and therefore, what exactly is the nature of this Akshara Purusha is being described. Second mantra. Divyo Hemurtaha Purushaha Sabhaya Bhantaro Yajaha Aprano Hemanaha Shubra He Aksharat Paratah Para. He Aksharat Paratah Para. That is Parataha Aksharat Para. Para, beyond the realm, more exalted than the exalted Akshara, more indestructible than the destructible Akshara. In fact, see, in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, Krishna speaks of the three Purushas, Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, and Purushottama. In fact, I had faced this problem. Before I studied Bhagavad Gita Shankara Bhashya, I had meddled in the Bhashya also, not that I understood. Or he was reading Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, Purusha, what is it? Because by whatever that I exposed to Vedanta, for every student knows that Akshara is Brahma. Above Brahma, how is it possible? You should know that Akshara is Maya, Shakti, Prakriti. Brahman is above that. So Bhagavan has used these three types of Purushas. Kshara, which is always changing and destructible, the Jagat. Relatively, Akshara, its immediate cause, Maya, Shakti, or that Prakriti, which get destroyed in the wake of knowledge. Purushottama. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, and the Purusha who is beyond the realm of both Kshara and Akshara Purusha. That is Brahma. So, therefore, this Akshara Brahma is superior, more exalted, totally independent of anything else, including the relatively Akshara Purusha. Divyaha. different meanings can be seen. The first and foremost is that which is shining, resplendent, in the sense which is itself knowledge principle. Light in terms of not physical light. Shining, resplendence is not a physical resplendence, bright and brilliant. No. See, light makes you see, reveals you things in darkness. So light is a principle which makes you know. So also, figuratively, the Jnapti Tattva, the Jnana Tattva, the knowledge principle, which makes you know everything. That is nothing but Chaitanya, pure awareness. So that is called as what? Swayam Jyoti, self-knowing principle, self-experiencing principle, self-evident principle, Divya, shining, resplendent. So that way, not physically light and shape. Divya, that's one meaning. Second meaning is Divi Bhava Divya, that which abides, happens to be in Divi, heavens, or in a brilliance. Here, it should not be taken literally as in heaven. Heavens are supposed to the one where happiness is there. So, Divi Bhava, one that is in the heaven as it were, means, which is nothing but Ananda Swarupa, the very nature of happiness principle. Or Divi means Swatmani. Swatmani means in oneself, abiding in oneself in the sense, self-existent principle, which is considered as I. Really yourself, really myself, Divya. Or it can be something which is alaukika, otherworldly, different from all that you find here in this world. Something special. Nothing from this world can be compared with otherworld, alaukika. That is what Divya will continue, Amurtaha, Purusha, etc. Om.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
videos. विजयम्मा हरिओम,
प्रणाम स्वामी जी, प्रणाम।
जीडी नाटकर्णी जी हरिओम,
प्रणाम प्रणाम स्वामी जी, नित्य प्रणाम।
वेंकटरामन जी हरिओम,
हरिओम स्वामी जी, हरिओम।
नारायणन जी हरिओम,
प्रणाम स्वामी जी, प्रणाम।
अनिल हरिओम,
प्रणाम स्वामी जी।
जयेश हरिओम,
हरिओम स्वामी जी, प्रणाम।
मंगेश जी हरिओम,
हरिओम स्वामी जी, प्रणाम।
अनंत नारायणन जी हरिओम,
हरिओम स्वामी जी, प्रणाम स्वामी जी।
राधा अम्मा रेणु अम्मा हरिओम,
हरिओम स्वामी जी प्रणाम
माधवी नहीं नहीं अच्छा मुळे जी हरिओम, बेटी भानुबेन हरिओम,
प्रणाम स्वामी जी।
नटराजन जी हरिओम,
हरिओम स्वामी जी, प्रणाम।
राजू हरिओम,
प्रणाम स्वामी जी, हरिओम।
सुधाकर जी हरिओम,
पूजाए प्रणाम।
जयंत भाई ओझा हरिओम।
थैंक यू सर, प्रणाम प्रणाम।
ओम आई एम लिविंग।
ओम ओम
प्रणाम स्वामी जी, नित्य प्रणाम।
हरिओम।
प्रणाम प्रणाम।
प्रणाम।
ओम 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 प्रणाम, नित्य प्रणाम स्वामी जी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।